Okay, so you've created your typography in Illustrator at this point. So now what we want to do is set up InDesign so that you can put all of your components together. I like to think of InDesign as a file cabinet where you bring everything together to organize it. So I've opened InDesign. Your program may be slightly newer than mine, but it's all very similar. First thing you want to do is go to File, New Document. And in here, you'll notice that none of the sizes offered to us are actually anything that we need, since we're going with 15 inches wide by 5 inches tall. So I'm actually just going to type in 15 space IN for inch, even though it looks like it's all pixel based. By putting in the IN, it knows that I want to go inches, and it converts it for me. So I can just click anywhere. So 90p by 30p is what it turns out for me. Number of columns, I'd like 3, one for each photograph and then one for the typography. The gutter is the space between the columns. In the case of typography, you normally have space between your columns, but we're not going to do that here because we're butting everything up against itself. And then also the margins, and I'm using the tab key to move through, will also be 0 because I don't want any margin. I want to go edge to edge. And I can just hit OK. So normally, InDesign is a multi-page layout program, but we're just getting your fingers wet and just getting you in here. So I've prepared all of my materials elsewhere. So my photography was done using Photoshop, and I saved my files as JPEGs, .jpg, not .gif, and I hope you understand the difference between them. JPEG is used for continuous tone photography or the appearance of such and gradations, where a GIF is used for flat color, same as a PNG. So the first thing I'm going to do, and this is the biggest mistake people make with this software, they copy and paste. No, no, no. You do not copy and paste. You have to maintain an appropriate link from the original file into InDesign. So we're going to place. Go under File and Place. And I'm going to go out and find my information. And I have 2 photographs. I stole this and I did it in 3 seconds or less. So hopefully your quality is far superior to mine. And I click. I'm going to undo that a second, and notice if I click and drag, I can make that image that size. Be careful not to do that because you're altering the size that you've created in your photo program or from your camera, wherever you've done it. You don't want to be manipulating sizes and things in here. You want to do all of the clarity work in another program. This is your file cabinet where it all comes together. So again, File and Place. And I'll bring in my other side and I'll move that over, and hopefully my feather is still underneath there. And I think I messed up, which is good because you can see it. I left my anchor points. The file was still selected. I didn't click off of it, so it replaced my original image. So I'm going to go back there and place the feather again. Just click to put it in position, and then I have to deselect so that they're both sitting there. And then lastly, I've already gone ahead and created my typography, which is in the previous video, and I'm going to go ahead and get that text, and I'm going to place it in the middle, and you'll notice it didn't come in with the 5x5 paper size, so I have to position it where I want it to be. So now I have that set up exactly as I want. You'll notice that the type looks pixelated and your photographs may look terrible as well. That's because when you place it into InDesign, you're placing an abbreviated version of the actual file. It has to go find that original file in order to print properly. So pay close attention here. First thing I'm going to do is File, Save. So I'm going to call mine Floating Print. So this is the image that I want to print. And I'm going to put it in my file there, my folder. And it is an InDesign document. Okay, so I have it all ready to go. This is critical in InDesign, and too many people ignore it. If you go under Window and you come down to Links, you'll see in here that it says that I have colorful, raft, feather, and floating. And each of those is a link. And if I click on it, it shows you where that item is in the document. But most importantly, you see some information down here. But if you go under the little arrow at the upper top, you'll see that I can go to the link, I can embed it, I can relink it. So if you even change the names of these files or you throw them away, you're in big trouble. It won't print properly. This is going out. In order to print, it goes out and looks for the original unless you embed the link. So if you embed it, you'll see a new symbol that lives here. See the symbol here with the triangle, square, and circle? So I'm going to embed mine. Now if I'm doing a huge multi-page document, I can't do this because it will be too many embedded. The reason it's linking is to keep a small file size. So ideally you want to maintain links, you don't want to embed it. But for the sake of what we're doing, we're going to embed the files, and then you're going to go to File, and if you can go to Adobe PDF presets, great. Go to smallest file size. And in here, floating print.pdf, perfect, exactly what I want. It asks me some questions. What is it that I want to do? Do I need page thumbnails, optimized for fast web view? Yes, this is the easiest one for us just to look at on the internet in your discussion folder. So I just hit export, and then you're good to go. That's it, and that's how I'd like you to save these so your peers can open them without any trouble. Holler if you have questions.